Well, it's been several days since I've run any of these motors in this levee rice. It just keeps showering enough to keep me from having to run them. So we're back out here today, the 5th of June, and I probably cut them off the 1st of June, maybe before that. I think we got a rain the 1st of June. Yeah. So anyways, they've been off for a while. Like I say, I'm back out here cutting them on. The rain chances are pretty much gone. There's some chances for some scattered showers today, which is always a chance we get an inch out of that, but I'm gonna cut them all back on because they need to fill back up. We saved a lot of money on diesel and probably on parts on motors, but I'm gonna run this Deutsch, crank it up, but per usual, the belt was loose. I tightened it back up so it doesn't throw it as soon as I leave. And I got to give a shout out to Deutsch. I guess they knew that their motors were going to burn a lot of oil, so they just went ahead and put the filling point right here, easy access. I guess they knew we were going to be putting some oil in this baby. I already dumped some in it and got it filled back up where it needs to be. I just wanted to give a shout out. Deutsch, you don't have your belts figured out at all, but thanks for putting that filling spot for that oil right there in a convenient location where I don't need a funnel every time. So kudos to you. That means we're in action. I'm just gonna take y'all on my morning trip around the rice. Somebody please come up with a design or another thing to use to strap polypipe to risers that will last. This one has lasted a while, but the ones that I buy that are new fall apart every time. It won't stay tight. Zip ties, you got to keep reusing them. I don't use zip ties. I always use these metal bands. They used to work. This one's an old one. Lasted a long time, but the new ones, about 3 out of every 5 in a package actually works. This is a brand new one. I'm gonna put it on. I hope it stays in one piece and actually works, but these are notorious for coming apart right inside there and falling off. So we'll see. That one held. Right on. Y'all stand back. This one's really loud when you turn it on. I can hardly hear myself think. I need to figure out a way to make these things quieter. Love electric wheels until they quit working. But even then, it's kind of not my problem. I have to get an electrician to fix it because I don't know nothing about them. This is an 80-acre field. It's got 2 lines. We got one that covers almost every paddy going straight through the middle of the field. It's a long run to the bottom. And then this piece right here, it just goes right up here and goes over one more levee. It only waters 2 paddies. It shouldn't take but to the end of the day, and it should fill these up if this electric will keep running. I've had it cut off on me about 3 times now, but all 3 times it's been around a rainstorm, so I'm kind of hoping that's what's been causing it and it's not something else. So we'll see, but that's where we're at on this one. All right, so I've gone and cranked all the motors this morning. I got 8 of them that I'm dealing with. Well, all but this one, and a couple I didn't crank up the row rice because I think it's no point at this time. It's still muddy. I mean, the turn rows are barely dry. The field's still muddy, and it's Wednesday. There's a chance of rain this afternoon, so I'm just gonna try to wait. I think it's Wednesday. Yeah, it's Wednesday. I'm gonna try to wait till tomorrow and start my second rotation for the week. God blessed me with the rain to cover my first rotation, so I'm just gonna wait till tomorrow and start my second rotation. That way, what we try to do on the row rice, especially on fields that have like 4 lines, 2 fields and 4 lines, is we try to cut it on Monday, run each line 12 hours. So 2 days, cut it off, and then for a day let it rest on Wednesday, and then Thursday cut it on till Friday afternoon and cut it off and let it rest for the weekend, so that hopefully we don't have a lot to do on the weekends. That's always the plan. Doesn't usually go that way, but with that all being said, I haven't cranked the 2 row rice wells I'm fooling with because it's still wet. Tomorrow's Thursday. I'm gonna start my second round tomorrow. But while we're doing all that, I'm gonna work on this motor. We have switched this motor here because the one that we fooled with, we had a reservoir problem. The reservoir head broke off, rusted off. I welded a nut on there and put a bolt in it, and it just isn't working right. I don't know. It's holding pressure, but it's not letting it release right, and it just ain't right. So we got this motor, switched it around over here, but I got to fix this panel because it's a floppy piece of junk. So I got one of them out. As you could guess, the new ones don't come with the nuts, which is real convenient because the old ones are never rusted and there's nothing to hold on to back here. So I'm having a little bit of a moment here. So we're gonna try to, let's try to do it like that other YouTube farmer does, that other guy. Now that's the way to fix stuff. That guy was right. That's nice. Well, now that y'all have seen how janky some of our motors are, we've made the first round this morning. It's been a little slower because this is maintenance morning, but the reason that I crank everything up one round and then come back around and check it all is because this last field that I have to cut on happens to be the road on the bottom end of the first field that I cut on. You see what I did there? It's efficiency. We're looking for efficiency. It's Polypipe day. What do you say, Jay Quallen? The rig. see if they can keep up with me. Almost done with the first line of pipe and soybeans for 2024. The first of many on this rough ass tractor. But it's a good one. Not rough. The feel is just rough. This is my grandfather's tractor and his Polypipe machine that he built. Hey. Hey. Damn guy drives like an animal. So this motor keeps cutting off after about 3 or 4 days. It'll run fine for 3 or 4 days and then it'll die. And every time the battery is dead. So my diagnosis is we need a new one of these. Alternator. So we're gonna take the old one off and put the new one on and hope that that fixes the problem and it's not some crazy wiring something that's hard as heck to find. It's me being the smart person that I am. Didn't want to cut the well off because I want to water this line out on this rice. Look at that row rice, by the way. A little weedy on top, but that's levee rice and it's the same. It's just a ridge down through there that doesn't get water, so it has a little Johnson grass problem. We'll hit it and take care of it later. But row rice looks good. But anyways, as I was saying, me being the smart person I am, didn't cut it off because I wanted to water this line out before I swapped it. So it's gonna be a little spicy in there, a little hot, a little humid to get this alternator off. So we got to be up in here right next to all the exhaust and the engine block, so like operation, don't get zapped. While we're here, that belt has seen better days. Probably ought to replace it. Come on. Got it. Now the fun part, getting that little flywheel off. Sometimes you can knock it out by hand. I've got my doubts, but I have done it before. Bleeding. Had to whip out the glove. Popping that skin with that hammer didn't feel too good, so I was a little timid to swing. We put a glove on, a little less timid. Just needed a little more persuasion than what I was willing to give barehanded. Guess I could leave my gloves on since the motor's hot. Just always find it harder to work on things with gloves on. Or at least these kind of gloves. But motor's hot. Might make it a little less timid going in there too. Got to be able to fit all day. There you have it. New alternator. The belt's in bad shape. I think I got one at the shop. I'm just gonna run it, see how it goes, make sure it'll still fire off and everything works properly, and then I'll may even let it run overnight and hope that belt just hangs on, you know, one more night. It's been running for a while, and then in the morning I'll come out here and switch it over. But there's your new alternator. I'll wire nut that up. Tomorrow I'll come put a belt on, and hopefully it'll quit cutting off, and we'll just keep charging batteries and not have to keep swapping them. So we'll see. That's all for now.